Hello and welcome back for another episode of FPL Apprentice. You're joining us for episode 91 on deadline. Can't get my words out. Deadline day. We are looking to review our game week 3 so far, as well as the season reflections and what the latest transfers are doing to impact our sides. And as always, I am joined by former world number one, Mr. Matthew Coverage. Matt, how are we?
Hello, mate. Yeah, very good, very good. I'm coming off a pretty decent game week 3, so yeah, feeling good going into the international break, right? So I think sometimes when you have that rotten game week, then it's a lot of time to mull over it, right? But yeah, I had a positive one, the first positive one of the season, so I am feeling good.
Good.
And yeah, lots to discuss and digest, like you said. Yeah, kind of 3 weeks in, a bit more data. We've got the international break. Some mini
Big
fixtures
news.
wins, and yeah, obviously, yeah, as you said, the transfer deadline day as well, and some stuff that's happening already with some big ramifications, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Lots of transfers happening. Lots of transfers look like they're going to happen, then falling through. And in the case of Nicholas Jackson, then start happening again. So an exciting day. I had a bit of a mediocre week, a bit of a nothing week, but we'll come on to my team. I'm quite happy with the position. But we'll start with you, mate. We'll start with you. We're going to go back. We're going to try what we did last week in terms of live screen sharing. So, yeah, have you
Right.
got yours at there ready, mate?
Yeah. Let me I'll just open the tab, I think, just so it's not
You
showing.
definitely had a better game week than I did. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, there you
All
go,
right, yeah,
mate.
cool. So yeah, positive one. So 61 points. That's a game week rank of 1.5 mil. So I think anything. How many players we got at the moment in the game? There's like 11.5 million, right? So that's pretty decent. I think yeah, anything in the sub 4 million mark these days, it does look like close for a green arrow. And I think yeah, amongst like mini leagues with competitive players, like including yourself, I think yeah, I had a nice delta versus the average there. So yeah, really happy. So coming into the week, I was like really. I made 2 free transfers. So I had 2 free transfers, and I used both of them. I think it was a valid strategy to actually play a free hit. Actually, given how like decimated some teams were, I really wanted to keep rolling for more info, but I had both Palmer and Strand Larson. So yeah, Palmer's confirmed out. He's out of the international break as well. Let's see if he comes back in. It looks like it's a small injury, right? But I don't know, mate. It always seems with these things, right? There's a
Yeah,
muscle injury. Sometimes they can linger a little bit. So that was at
yeah.
the back of my mind, and my chip strategy, where I could free hit in game week 6, where that's like Palmer's next prime fixture until probably game week 8, 9. Is game week 6. I could free hit him back in. Like that's Brighton at home, which does seem like a nice fixture. So yeah, with him out, I was thinking, yeah, I should move him. And then the other like trigger point was Strand Larson being out as well. So Strand Larson had one of these classic transfer rumor niggles, right? So I think he has
Yeah.
been with injury because he's been like subbed at like 75 minutes, but kind of crazy. He played the midweek cup, the League
Yeah.
Cup, twice for the bench within 5 minutes. But yeah, I think it was like a little niggle, but a little bit of a transfer rumor sort of niggle. Like obviously that's closed now, so he's going to stay at Wolves, and this has gone to Newcastle. So yeah, with both Strand Larson probably been out and kind of Palmer being definitely out, I had to make some moves. I moved Mateta in for Mark Gui, so I decided to upgrade my 4.5 striker, and I brought in
Interesting one.
Saar. Yeah, I brought in Saar for Palmer. So I had loads of other options, right? So I guess my short list of players, like striker wise, it was really Mateta or Gyökeres. I really didn't consider João Pedro, maybe kind of for my own sins. I didn't really consider Chris Wood, but yeah, I thought Mateta and Gyökeres were the ones I was particularly interested in. And then midfielders, I had like a whole wealth of options, really. I had like Saar, Semenyo, Anderson from Forest was there. Dewsbury Hall was on that list as well. So yeah, quite a few options. But yeah, I decided to go fully committed to Palace given their form and like just the quality of the kind of players. But didn't have too much confidence. But yeah, both of them came in and returned. I guess the decision Mark Gui versus Strand Larson. I don't know if I'll come to regret that move really, because obviously looking at my forward team now, Strand Larson, I'm not going to be playing him often. So really, like Strand Larson there with the option of bench boosting when he has nice games, and then the two Burnley boys, Dubravka and Steve, when they've got like nice games, like there's that keeping the bench boost option. But yeah, if I went Strand Larson to Mateta or Strand Larson for Gyökeres over Mark Gui, I'd probably be able to have a squad where it'd be a lot more easy to accommodate Haaland if I wanted to bring him through free transfers. So let's see if that's causing me issues downstream. But I'm not afraid to reverse those transfers and bring a cheap striker back in. And I just felt like this gave me the maximum flexibility of different chip strategies, different like pathways. By just having a solid bench, I have the option now to bench boost really anytime before I wildcard, which is kind of cool. So that's what I did. Yeah, and like the squad just to just go through it. Sanchez in goal kept his clean sheet rather fortunately, right? Given Fulham had a goal disallowed quite controversially, but yeah, I'll take that kind of 6 points. Pedro Porro got us 4 points, given his DEFCON that was added after the match, which is that's kind of cool. It was one of those ones where he was on 9
Take it.
DEFCON for ages and then was subbed early, and it was like, oh no way. But yeah, it was recounted and he got it. So happy days there. Van der Ven didn't really do much, and yeah, kind of like got a yellow card to 1 point. Then had Richards in for Palace. He had 8 points, so he had his 6 points, and then looked decent for the bonus. But yeah, he hit his DEFCON pretty early, and he's not a DEFCON monster, but he's ticking away quite nicely for a 4.5, right, for a decent defense. So I'm quite happy for Richards. That's why I brought him in. I would say he does look. There looks like at least I'd say 2 pass defenders that I'd rather have. Mark Gay's going to stay there now, but I don't. He's not always going to score bangers like he did this week, right, against Villa. But I think certainly Munoz, he's looking very, very attacking, gets a lot of bonus points because of his chance creation, and is also looking good for DEFCON. I'd rather Muniz for 1 mil more. And also Lacroix is one of those DEFCON monsters. I think he incorrectly didn't get DEFCON when he should have this week, but he would have got it every week since he came in, I think, if he got it this week. So he's looking very good as well, very good for bonus. But yeah, Richards, cheaper option, but it's still ticking away nicely. So happy with that. But yeah, I think it's 2 better Palace options that I'd be targeting. I didn't have didn't have Richards. Yeah, midfield Sai brought Sarr in, of course. Looks like he's nursing a bit of a injury, but he'll be fine. But like, yeah, great performance really. I think his expected XGI was 1.45, right? So he had a few pretty neat chances. It looks like Palace still creating chances, even with Eze gone. So yeah, happy with Sarr's 7 points. It could have even been higher, but I'm not going to be too greedy. Bruno Fernandes, he kind of scored 20 points, and I think it was an all-around great performance. Really, I know it's like we'll talk about penalty takers and 90-minute men, but like Bruno is like quantification of that. But like he had XGI of 1.17, right? So decent stats even without the penalty, right? But then so many defensive contributions, right? 17. I think it was like Oliver performance. Only blank there is like getting the yellow card, which probably cost him the bonus as well. But yeah, a great performance by Fernandes, and that's kind of why you have these players. So yeah, I'm very happy for him. He's probably one of the players I'm looking at as a long-term hold. Reinders, didn't really do much, even with Rodri back in the team, which is one to watch really, but he's so cheap it doesn't really matter. But like he could, it's an option that there are probably better players in around his price that you could move. I think that hype from game week 1 has disappeared. It's like we'll give him a chance. And Wirtz and Salah in my midfield concluded. Yeah, both with 3 points, of course, with the clean sheet. Salah looked pretty anonymous, right? His XGI first 3 game weeks is shocking, right? 0.37.
For honest, mate, I think he's looked pretty. He's
sorry, mate. You I'll continue. Yeah,
No,
I think
the signal went on my side, so apologies if it seemed like I was talking
no,
over you there, mate. But yeah,
no.
Salah, I was just again.
Mate, I'll finish.
Are we
'Cause I
back?
think like
Are we back in
yeah,
time?
yeah, I think so. I think we're good. But yeah, Salah, I think he's just been very anonymous, and those stats are pretty concerning. He was very poor, and like yeah, the underlying numbers weren't great. He was playing deep, and yeah, Wirtz, I'm kind of really troubled about. Again, like I open up his numbers. Ironically better than Salah's, but yeah, 0.24 isn't great against Arsenal and Newcastle. He was bad, and Bournemouth he was bad. So he's looking super deep, and a lot of set pieces actually were going slobber slides away, which was probably the interesting point on Wirtz. Of course, I'm going to give him the next 2 game weeks, given they're pretty nice on paper. But yeah, I'm looking for alternatives for Wirtz quite quickly, and kind of annoyed at myself because yeah, I always say be careful. It doesn't apply to everyone, of course, but like yeah, be nervous people about any Premier League experience. And yeah, I think I got caught up in the hype of him being a lot of content creators liking him, a lot of noise around him, the price tag, the models liking him. His underlying stats and his like pure stats, even in in Germany, weren't groundbreaking. Like so, I think he does play like Dewsbury Hall, but not as good. It's crazy. So I'm not enjoying him. But and then up front, yeah, Mateta, 5 points. I think what it really showed there, like obviously his pen, he scored a pen. It was only worth 3 points, right? So it does really highlight with penalties, the bonus points for penalties scored changing. It does limit strikers even further, right? Before if a striker scored a penalty, it was an almost guaranteed three bonus points. But yeah, Mateta obviously decided to batter the corner flag, right? So got a yellow card there, which we'll see if he does it next time. But yeah, like just does show it's quite hard to get kind of big points for strikers. And then yeah, Watkins, like Villa looked really poor, but like Watkins had chances, right? So I'm not going to really put it on him per se. And then yeah, my bench, Dubravka, Strand Larsen, obviously, hopefully will be back next week. Anderson got his DEFCON points, which he's in my team. Richards and Anderson, I think, were two of the best 4.5s going into the season from a DEFCON perspective. And then Esteve. So like really the things that could have gone against me this week. Haaland scored, but Fernandes outscored him from a captaincy point of view, so that's fine. I'll take a nine pointer from Haaland any day of the week. Arsenal defense, they conceded, of course, so they're quite heavily owned. And yeah, one of my big bets, the first Gyökeres. A lot of people bought Gyökeres in this week, even though he had a bad fixture run because of like what Moral saying he looked good. But I think he looked all right. But yeah, he kind of like didn't really do much and blanked, of course. And then yeah, of course, like Forest defense are very heavily owned, right? And that's probably one of the biggest bets I had going into the season, that they would just regress to their end of season stats from a defensive point of view. And it looks like that's come true. Yeah, I think a lot of teams have at least one Forest defender, if not two. So yeah, it didn't go with Wood, of course, from an attacking point of view, and yeah, it didn't go for a Forest defender. So yeah, kind of like fortunate the way that things have kind of fallen there. So yeah, very happy with my week overall, mate. But yeah, any questions? Sorry, that was a bit of a long monologue.
No, not at all. Apologies for the technical interruption. I think my wife is watching some streaming services and taking some of the internet away from me. So apologies for the ins and outs of me over that 10 minute, that last 10 minutes. Hopefully I'm back now. But it's not often you bring in 2 players, mate, on a free transfer and they both score. So you've got to be happy, obviously, with Sarr and Mateta there. Yeah, Bruno Fernandes. I think I said this to you on text. In your first 3 game weeks, your point of 90-minute penalty merchants, right? Your captain in all 3 games has gone into injury time without a return. In game week 1, he then got a goal. In game week 2, he got an assist. In game week 3, he got a goal. So you're proving your point.
Yeah, I mean, that's not lucky. That's not lucky, right? That's why
Yeah,
you
so,
pick them. Obviously, they're not going to get a return all the time, but that's why you pick these players. And also that I'll kind of add that's why I didn't go João Pedro, right? So João Pedro, of course, going into the season was a decent pick. Chelsea have some good fixtures, and he's obviously a good player. However, we had no idea what position he would play. Was it striker? Was it number 10? Was it rotated? Was it out wide? Would he be subbed early? I think probably anyone who was saying that I would put his minutes in my head. About 70 minutes, 69 minutes, 68 minutes on average, right? But some games where he could be subbed off super early. Some he could do 490. Some games he might not even play, but I'd say average about 65 to 70 minutes, right? And of course, that means that almost a quarter of the game he's not playing. Obviously, what's happened is like he was a good pick, but now he's become a very good pick because of circumstance that he's the only fit striker now.
Yeah.
Now the lab is injured. Palmer's out as well, which means he can play as 10. His minutes are like further, like kind of grounded. So I think it's like, yeah, he's a good pick, kind of pick, but that's kind of some of the stuff I consider when I pick players is like, do I think they're gonna who are the alternatives in their squads and like will they be getting close to 90 minutes? And that's one of the most important things to predict when you're picking players.
It's quite interesting that despite Palmer not being on the pitch, Chelsea got a penalty. Pedro didn't take it, and he was on the pitch. Obviously went to Enzo Fernandez instead. Now, as a non-Pedro owner, I was very happy about that circumstance. But does that put you off Pedro even more? He's not even second choice pen taker.
Oh, well, we'll see. That's if it's a one-off. I think more the fixtures for Chelsea are kind of like looking a bit mixed. I'd say they're mixed now. Like, I think they're real nice fixture run starts game week 9. They got a nice game week 6, but I think they're mixed. So yeah, they look like a menace from corners, like non-stop. They look really good from set pieces, but yeah, I'm not going there anytime soon. Let's see what happens like deep into autumn game week 9 time. But yeah, I think I'll always struggle to pick somewhere. I think they've got a little bit of minutes uncertainty. But yeah, thank God he didn't get that penalty because he's had a good run. He's done very good himself, of course. But like, yeah, that would be a hell of a fortunate kind of run.
Yeah, we'll leave that. And I will.
Yeah.
You know, the big news story around Chelsea today is obviously the recalling of Guiu. He's going back to Chelsea from Sunderland. So when we talk about the transfer impact on our team, I'll make sure get it in you. Start thinking about it now because I will ask you about it. I appreciate you've sold him already, but there'll be a lot of people still sat with Guiu in their team.
Yeah,
so I'll ask you some questions on it.
That's an interesting one. Like I'll say one more thing because before I kind of hand over to you, mate. So what's my overall rank actually 2.7. So yeah, I'm super early, but looking okay. But Strand Larson, I kind of went Strand Larson for just minute certainty and pens, and like obviously the price difference between him and Pedro was a mil. But if obviously I realised Strand Larson was going to miss games, get subbed off early, and Pedro was then going to be a 90-minute man. Of course, I would have picked him. I would have found a million elsewhere in my squad. I would have moved Wirtz to Semenyo or something like that and had a healthier squad. Overall, I would have done that, of course. But yeah, it's kind of funny, how things work. Strand Larson being the kind of certainty there. But yeah, it's positive week.
Two questions for you then on this. So, obviously you finished in the top 10K 6 times, top 5K 5 times. After 3 game weeks, you're currently 2.7 million. Out of interest, just so I don't get disheartened, usually when you get those high finishes, those top 10K finishes, where are you around now?
I'll tell you what. I wish I recorded it, and if anyone can recommend a tool where you can get old data, that would be pretty interesting. Although I do the standard screenshot on your phone, like once you finish the kind of season. Yeah, like super low. Yeah. So I think it don't. This season is not going to matter until game week 19 at least, because you've got all the chips to play. So like a lot of people being
a lot of catching up.
I would say it'll be super competitive this league when you're looking at the clone teams. Right, there's a few tools out there that say the kind of like number of like teams with identical lineups. A few of the big content for creators who are actually very good at I mean, they've got like 6, 7, 8,000 identical teams, and like so, yeah, to get into the top
You've got to beat
10K,
them.
you're beating like
FPL
eight
Harry.
thousand, 8,000 versions of FPL Harry, like so, and then you got the other guys that just like some of the like top ranked players are like in
Yeah.
the kind of Hall of Fames follow FPL review almost to a T. There's probably another 8,000 who just follow that and other tools like to the T. So it's quite you got to have your luck, I think, to get these top ranks for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
It's, yeah. You've got to beat the big channels that are followed.
I might just try. I think I've probably got a slight edge at the moment, super early. So I might just do hits and just copy the team.
Just stay ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
but
last question for you. So you did when we did a video prior to the season kicking off around chip strategy, right? And you had 3 hits in game week 2. Now, I appreciate you didn't do that last game week or the game week before, should I say? Have you got a revised strategy?
that was bench boost. Went bench boost into because of
bench boost. Sorry,
Burnley fixture. Yeah, I think it's up for grabs. So my original strategy was bench boost 2 or sometime early. It was 3 hit and 6, wildcard 13, and then triple captain 15, which I think is Haaland home to Sunderland. I'm just trying to keep all the options open, right? So my team at the moment is probably primed for bench boost, given I've got everyone's playing 90 minutes, and I've got Strand Larson there. It's like Strand Larson / White Reinders is my weakest attacker, right? So that's not bad. I've just got to find a lineup, a fixture, I think, where Burnley look okay. So game week 5, they're playing Forest at home. That's okay. Game week 7 or 8, I believe they got Leeds. Game week 9 could be okay as well. So I could use that bench boost to try and like find some favorable fixtures there. So yeah, I could do a 5, probably more likely. I think probably the game week 8 looks a little bit better for me. Because actually, to be honest, game week 5, I'd probably like, if truly hand on heart, I'd probably be playing Esteve over some of my other defenders, right? So you've got to pick your weakest players there. So I think, marginal returns. And I think that's probably a bit of value of just getting it over and done with rather than sitting on it. But I think I might have some better weeks. Game week 8 could be nice, and then that gives a nice pathway back to Palmer. That's when Chelsea's going to start. He's obviously a premium attacker. I could then move Strand Larson or Mateta or Watkins or whoever I've got down to a Krupi Jr. and Mark Uy, 4.4 mil strike, upgrade like a Reinders to Palmer. Right, that gives it interesting. Once I've done that bench bet, I can invest my money in my start 11. Free hit. I think my moves this week have kind of made it more likely I'll free hit in game week 6. And the reason why game week 6 is that City and Forest have very favourable fixtures. I've got no Forest players and Reinders. You want Haaland really for that. I don't know if I regret that because I would like to try and navigate it for free transfers, right? But yeah, it's probably looking 50-50, quite close to free in game week 6, given I've now got triple Forest who are playing Liverpool that game. I don't have Haaland. I could still navigate free transfers if I roll this week and next week. I could bring in loads of variations. I could get rid of Wirtz and kind of Watkins and get Haaland in via that route. Downgrade Strand Larson maybe. To get rid of Salah. And then Strand Larson to Haaland. So I've got options there. So yeah, I think I'll reassess closer to the time. But I think it still does look like a relatively
flexible,
safe bet. Yeah, so flexibility now. So I'm being less. I think a few of those options are still there. But yeah, I think my team is probably primed for a pre-wildcard bench boost at the moment. Like given that I've now got Strand Larson and Reinders as my weakest attacker, and Reinders might not be there the whole time. He might be coming to Dewsbury Hall or whatnot, but that's still okay. And then the Bradford and Esteve, they're okay, right? They can get save points, and DEFCON doesn't look like Esteve, unfortunately, is good at DEFCON, but yeah, maybe bench boost game week 5, maybe bench it, do it game week 8. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll
Options,
see,
though.
No,
Options.
exactly, mate. Exactly, yeah. So overall, like, very happy with that. Got the rub of the green, some nice transfers in there, and good going into the international break. But mate, I'll hand over to you. I'll stop sharing mine. How did you do?
Mediocre, to say the least.
I thought so. You were quite quiet. Excellent.
Yeah, mediocre. Very mediocre. So hopefully that loads up for you now. As long as my internet doesn't go funny again. Hopefully you can see that, pal. 50 for the week. Bang average, mate. Slight green. So I was about 3.6 million. I'm now at 3.3 million. 50 points for the game week, which is slightly over average, but hence the small green. But yeah, bang average, mate. The main things to talk about, similar to you, lucky to get the Sanchez clean sheet. Did get some bonus DEFCON points from Tarkowski and Porro. Got the late penalty for Bruno and his DEFCON as well. And then, yeah, Captain Haaland felt a little bit unfortunate with Haaland. It took him till his fourth real chance to get a goal. But I'm very happy with him as a player because you look at that expected goal involvement this season. And granted, it's only I'd appreciate it's only 3 game weeks in, but 1.49 expected goal involvement per 90 minutes, 1.38 is penalties, and he's not had his expected goals. He hasn't had a penalty, so he's getting all of that attack without penalty data skewing it.
Yeah, he's looking good, eh? I think you can't say owner's been unfortunate. I also scored like 3 goals. But I think he's looking very good. You are right there. Tarkowski, obviously, I think he's hit DEFCON every single game. Everton, interestingly, have been a bit more attacking, I thought, and then defensively a bit more open. If I'm looking at their numbers, open again to what was a weak Wolves side without their main striker. What was their expected goals conceded? Yeah, it was over 1, right? That's 2 against Leeds, 2.43 against Brighton. It's averaging nearly 2 a game, right? So not great, but he's got to be a perma starter for you, right?
That as you say, DEFCON. So he only needs to hit 10, as you say, to get the 2 bonus points, and he's done it every single week. Oh, that was terribly highlighted. There you go. 11 this week, 10 the week before, 15 the week before that. So he has gained 6 points just from his defensive contribution. Now, if he's coming in with 4 points, I appreciate he's conceded twice, so he's down to 3. But if he's coming in with 4 points a week on average, yeah, he's a hold. I also don't mind their fixtures. They're not great. The next 2 aren't great, but then that West Ham at home, Palace at home, I don't hate. Sunderland coming up as well. So yeah, I don't see any rush.
Who's to say what's a good fixture and what's not? Given it's fluctuating so much in it. Who would have expected Villa to lose 3-0, West Ham to win 3-0? It's kind of crazy how it's up and down. But yeah, someone like Tarkowski, who looks like you thought about it coming into the season, looks like that. That's kind of a solid pick.
He was the DEFCON. He was the DEFCON pick. Now, the person who I'm really annoyed with from a DEFCON point of view is this guy, Anderson. He needs 12 defensive contributions to get us 2 points. Week 1, 11. Week 2, 11. Week 3, 11. He's been on the cusp every single game week.
That's a good thing. Right? You'd rather than getting that consistently versus not getting anywhere near it or radically fluctuating. So yeah, he'll get it sooner rather than later. There are some midfielders that are just absolutely killing it. Like Casado, for example, is getting 20 points. I think it's a bit random, but it's getting attacking returns because of the attacking threat. But yeah, Bruno looks really good as well. Yeah, there's some midfielders really killing it. You obviously question you put Truffert on your third on your bench. So obviously,
Trufford. There you go.
so why did you play a? I'm guessing Ronaldo from.
Yeah,
From your
Ronaldo was second on my bench. So Strand Larson, I put Strand Larson on just in case he got minutes. I knew Palmer
yeah.
wouldn't, so he was benched. Fixture, if I'm honest, is the only reason, mate. I thought Sunderland against Brentford are more likely to keep a clean sheet. The way Tottenham have started the season as an attacking threat, I thought they're at home. Bournemouth, a decent side, but I just fancied Tottenham to score more than I did Brentford away. So that was that. I was looking at what it was. I was looking at Sunderland's expected goals against, and even this game week 1.2, 1, 0.56.
Yeah,
Defensively,
yeah.
they've not been bad.
No, I'm quite surprised at that actually. I'm quite surprised. And then obviously Palmer and Strand Larson, you decided to just roll it and bench. Obviously, absorb
Yes.
the price. I've taken a price drop on Palmer anyway, just waiting for more info. You obviously have taken one. There'll probably be some more coming. She's got 3 free transfers going into next week. But like, yeah, why did you decide to resist the temptation? I think it's very unlike you.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've been teaching me that data is king. You know what? I looked at the starting 11, and I was when before I knew Palmer was out when I set my bus team, and my first bench was a Dingra. Now I'm fed up with the Dingra. The guy's going to go. I don't know why my differential was a Sunderland attacker in the first place. I'll learn from that. But when I'm looking at a Dingra at home to Brentford, he had been starting every game prior to that. He got a rest in the cup. Like
Yeah.
that's not the worst fixture in the world, and he could come away with an attack and return. I then looked at Strand Larson, who might be out, and I thought again, Ronaldo at home to Brentford could be worse in terms of who's coming off my bench there. So it just felt like I would have been not forcing it, but I'd have been rushing into a decision. I wouldn't have had all the data available to me in terms of what's going to happen in the transfer window, which we'll talk about soon. But
Yeah, that's
things like
fine.
Isaac moving, Wissa moving,
Yeah.
and I'd just rather go into game week 4 with the transfer window done, and I know where every player is going to be.
Well, you might have Palmer back as well, right? So I think
Yeah,
that's a positive as well. Yeah, it makes sense, obviously. And to be honest, you didn't lose any grounds to the
yeah,
competition. Right? You could have trashed your team and try and bring in Chris Wood
yeah.
or
And he'd have been on the
Gibbs White.
he did. Sorry, mate. Go on.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, you could have trashed your team getting like Chris Wood or Hudson or Doyle or Gibbs White in. That must have been
Yeah.
quite high on the short list. You could have been. I don't know who was on your short list then for Palmer
So
slash Larson replacements.
I think part of the reason I've waited a week as well is because of the players I want have better game week 4 options. So Palmer, I'll probably go to Semenyo, but he was away at Tottenham, so I didn't fancy
Yeah.
that fixture. They've got really nice fixtures from game week 4. Strand
Mhm.
Larson could then go to Ekatike, but I didn't
Yeah.
know if Liverpool were going to get Isaac or not. So all of a sudden, and they
Yeah.
had Arsenal, right? So again, it was a week too early. And that would have now, if I do those transfers, then I have enough left in the bank to make a Dingra Sar. Now, again, I didn't, based on Villa's form last season, I didn't think Villa away was the easiest fixture, whereas this week they've got Sunderland. So they were just all a week early. So I just thought, well, if I just hold it, get myself to 3, I can do all 3 of those transfers in one go. Now that Isaac is coming to Liverpool, Ekatike probably isn't coming into my team because it'd be interesting to see what happens with him. But yeah, flexibility. You were talking about flexibility. That's why I didn't do it. It was just to
Yeah,
give
nice.
myself the flexibility of 3 transfers when I know where all the chips lie, as they say.
Yeah, nice. Sounds good, mate. And yeah,
Semenyo is coming
like
though. Semenyo is coming. That's he's got
so,
him. Semenyo, yeah,
Semenyo was looking very, very, very good and very good. Well, we knew this from last season, right? Given like
yeah,
how many points he got, but expected points he was almost hitting 200 points, right? He was again. He's looking. Do you know when you see? It looks like he's gone up a level this year. And do you know when you see like a exceptional player playing for a mids team? Like it
yeah,
reminds me of Mane at Southampton, for
yeah,
example.
yeah.
Just like in terms of how you can kind of see, oh, this guy could play in a real top. Is like playing levels above. Admittedly,
Where is
very good players around him, but it's like, yeah, kind of like it's stepped up again and is looking uh Very good. No, it'd be nice to get a big move. Like I think Bristol City fan, obviously. Like so, I think that'd be a nice sell-on fee there.
Yeah,
Um,
nice. And
but
he's just signed a contract, right? Just signed a contract in the
yeah,
summer, so they'll
yeah,
get big money for him.
no, he's looking very, very good. Like yeah, underlying stats really nice, but like yeah, very just threatening from like watching the play.
Yeah,
Yeah, agree, mate. Agree. Yeah, going into the first, you're in a solid position, like just that past 3 mil lat rank, which is looking good. And yeah, like you're on 159 points. I'm on 163. So I mean, it's the first time in 2 seasons I'm going into an international break ahead of you, which is nice. But yeah, super close, of course. Super
This
close.
this keeps me interested, right? Because 4 points difference and about a £600,000 rank difference. So
Yeah.
it's all super close. And the thing, I suppose, what I've got, like most people ahead of me won't have 3 free transfers.
Well,
So it depends how I use them.
a transfer is worth 4 points at least now because like that's the cost of a hit. So you've got technically you got 8 points on me, right? If you take that literally with your transfers. But yeah, it'd be nice. You don't
Got
have
to
to
do
use
with it.
them either. Right? I think you've got a few
Yeah,
problems
yeah,
going into next week. But yeah, if Palmer's fit, Strand Larsen's fit, and the squad looks instantly a lot better than that.
yeah. Just missing out on some key teams. So I think I'll
Right,
bring
mate.
a few in.
Shall
Yeah,
we probably keep your stuff up? Should we talk
yeah.
about? Let's talk about some of our
Transfer.
learns, reflections, free
Oh yeah,
weeks,
let's do
in,
that.
and then should we talk about the transfer window as well? Should we start there?
Yeah. Let's
Oh,
do the lands. I think the lands is a
yeah.
good place to start. I think the Wi-Fi is off a little bit. I apologize again. My side, my problem. Um, couple of things, and we've touched on them a little bit, mate, already. Right? Power of DEFCON. In that
Mm.
team, I have 3 people that have got defensive contribution points. Porro, Tarkowski, Fernandez, Anderson was very close. As you've touched on, people like Caicedo are
Yeah.
absolutely running riot with it. But all of a sudden, if defensive contributions didn't exist, I'm on 44 points there, which is a red arrow. But if you bring up, if I bring up, just looking at ranking the players by their defensive contributions, you'll see the top defenders: Virgil van Dijk, 44, Senesi with 43. Did you see that coming? It's
Uh,
unbelievable.
well, I mean, like he was like at the bottom of like some of my shortlists, but like the Bournemouth defenders last year did look good from DEFCON. But I don't know if you felt the same. I felt like Liverpool first game week. Nah, I don't want to go to Bournemouth, and then I did think defensively at least there'd be a massive regression given like they
Yeah.
lost their whole defense. But looks like it's a system defense, right? Because like they are holding up well. But like yeah, kind of Senesi's looking awesome. Vandenberg, we've spoken about him, that people were going Collins, but really Vandenberg is the DEFCON monster. It's just like last year, he was playing half the season as right back. When he was playing centre back, he was outperforming Collins. Lacroix, Tarkowski knew they were excellent. Collins is still looking really good. It's just not as good. Richards, Anderson, my 4.5 boys there. So doing me proud. Rodon is looking, I think, yeah, probably the pick of the 4.0s, right? Given he plays for a better team and well, they've also got Goodmanson and they from an attacking point of view, but from a pure DEFCON. So I think super early, right? But there's an upward trend. Some of these guys have had it every single week, right?
Yeah.
And they're hitting
They've
big
all,
numbers.
yeah. I mean, they've all averaged okay, maybe just shy for some of them, but 10 a week or more. That's 2 points on the
Yeah,
doors straight off the bat.
and it's really it is really making a difference. And I think there is a case to make the like the meta. Do you know what I mean? Like, hey, the template, the meta, it will take time to catch up, right? But especially because like algos and whatnot, kind of like balanced teams. But it could be like it's an argument to say, hey, you just pack your defense with 4.5 and 1 or 2 5.0 DEFCON monsters. You just play them, and then you kind of really pack your rest of your team with the super premiums: Gyökeres, Haaland, Saka, Palmer, Fernandez, Salah, and then you just like play those defenders. But obviously, you want to take clean sheets as well, right? Of course, to kind of like it kind of contribute towards the point. And I think more widely, defenders, if you look at like filter stuff by like total points scored, defenders are doing really well, right? So yeah, kind of like from an attacking point of view, there's some nice defenders there. Calafiori, really liking the look of him in terms of where he's getting positionally. I think if you click on him and look at the XGI, this doesn't even go. Obviously, you would have watched a game at the weekend. That's nice, like XGI there, 0.14, 0.4, 0.92. He's getting he's playing as like a winger.
Yeah,
And you probably saw the match against Liverpool. He was really useful. Calafiore is really interesting. You normally see Gabriel up here, but yeah, Calafiore is the kind of one from Arsenal that's intriguing me a lot. Cucurella is another. Munoz is another, right? And Munoz has the added bonus. He's looking all right from a DEFCON point of view. So defenders full stop are looking very good value, right? I mean,
agree.
5.5 Munoz versus 5.5 Anderson. I know who I prefer over Reinders. I know it'd be Munoz, right? So
and he's getting forward as well. Those last two games,
right.
4-8, 3-2. He's whipping some balls into the box.
That's excellent. That's better than Salah, right? 0.48 against kind of Villa, and when he does that, he gets loads of bonus points as well. So yeah, defenders are looking good, mate. Defenders are looking good. Who are the monsters from a midfield point of view?
So from a DEFCON point of view, we calling it DEFCON? Is that what it's called? Is that taken across the board? But yeah, Caicedo, Bruno Fernandes, Adams from Bournemouth, interesting one. And then Soberslai's an interesting one. He's been playing out of position at right back the last two games, so I don't expect that trend to continue.
I think he will continue. I think he will.
You think?
I think he'll just play as right back almost permanently now. He's very.
Do you think?
He's very good. Yeah.
Even when Frimpong's fit.
Frimpong is bad.
Yeah, but Liverpool have spent 35 million. I personally don't see him staying there when Frimpong's fit.
I think he'll play there, and it's nice having like another ball player. Frimpong is useless, man. But like the ones that interest, I think Soboslai's price point makes him kind of difficult and whatnot. But Caicedo, that cheap price point, excellent. Fernandes, that makes him like almost essential, right? It's harder to get DEFCON points as a midfielder, right? Because of the 12-point threshold, and we know that Anderson has annoyingly been 1 point behind. But yeah, Fernandes, that looks like he's near essential, given he's got that route to get in quite easily now, as well as set pieces and still like an element of attacking threat. Who else looks interesting here? Paquetá, that's cool, right? Hitting DEFCON occasionally. Yeah, he's averaging 10.5 DEFCON a match. He's hit it well comfortably against Forest, and nearly hit against Chelsea, and been on penalties. That's kind of cool. That's a nice option. Xhaka could be an interesting option, right? So yeah, there's players here.
Unless he gets a red card. But yeah, 10 per 90. But he's hit it against Burnley, got the points.
Yeah, we can see it's a lot more impactful for and easier to get for defenders, of course, like super early, of course. But yeah, obviously Caicedo seems like he's going to hit it every single game, and Bruno not far off. So yeah, I think it's powerful. It's powerful, and I think we'll see.
Interest. No, I don't think any forwards hit it yet.
Mate, João Pedro nearly hit it this weekend. I think I swear.
Look at that, 10. Yeah, it wasn't far off.
That's how you got 3 bonuses, like a goal line clearance. So yeah, credit where credit's due. He did do well.
I did see that. I did see the clearance. Yeah.
But
DEFCON was a big learn for me. I think the Forest defense, mate. The Forest defense is rarely off-putting. So I've got Williams, and I'm just looking at that. 2 at home to West Ham, by the way, who people are suggesting could get relegated. Expected goals conceded 2.42. Now, granted, one was a penalty, but even if you take the penalty off, it's over 1.5 goals expected against them. That's poor. But they're not looking great at all. And they've got Arsenal next. Okay, they might then have Burnley and Sunderland, but then again they go pretty poor for the next sort of 4 or 5. So I think if people have doubled up, it's not been unlucky that they haven't got any points because their defense has been poor, and I can see people going to 1 or none.
I'm gonna do it now with obviously I've made a call that's gone right, and that happens quite rare. But yeah, I was really wanting a Forest defender just with the fixtures, but I was wary just with price points and just that back end of the season run, right? I think a lot of the stats we were looking at was for the whole season versus like that final run where their defensive stats were rubbish. Because you had to admit that last year because you got in Aina game week 1, didn't you? And you did great the first game weeks, and then it was like, oh yeah, for such difficult defense. But it was like the underlying stats were saying that it's the second half of the season they were just like very bad. They were bottom half, like
They were 17th. The only 3 teams worse than them for their defensive points in the second half last season were the 3 teams that got relegated.
Exactly. So, like, I mean, it's like I think there was a bit of things like there's solid defense that they're not. They're super leaky. They're super leaky. And then there's something just about the club that's stinking in it, really, with the kind of the odd owner and his dynamic with Nuno, the kind of manager. Gibbs White once being kept hostage. That weird re-signing video. There's sort of like it's the same with Villa, right? I think there's those 2 clubs which is something's rotten. They're not giving good vibes, right? Which is, I think, is sometimes an important dynamic. But yeah, DEFCON, mate, I think is really interesting. I think it does shift a bit of the meta to you pack your team with like cheap defenders that are good at DEFCON, and then load your premiums. Or doesn't mean hey you start playing 4 at the back or 5 at the back more often than not. I think I think there's some interesting ramifications for bench boost as well, right? So a lot of people now have got like an Esteve or a Dubravka, well, I don't have Dubravka, but Esteve, like, but you could probably like spread your funds around and have some really nice 4.5 defenders for a bench boost. But yeah, I think it's it's powerful, and we're seeing some trends already. I think it was we can kind of predict who's doing well now. I'm sure that there'll be other people that emerge, but those guys that you see on the top are going to do well. Who would you want if you don't have out of those defenders? Whereas Van Dijk is a bit of a unique case, so we'll ignore him. But like, who else?
Given fixtures, I would want a Palace defender.
Yeah, Lacroix is the one, I think.
Yeah, is him or Munoz. But yeah, I mean, the
Richards,
difference.
I'm not a fan of Richards.
Just that eight DEFCON difference is quite a lot. That's 80% of the way to 2 points.
Lacroix as well does have an attacking threat. Like he's been quite unlucky. Like he has a set piece threat, whereas Richard doesn't really have it. But all these guys are interesting when it comes to fixture swings and wild cards and like where you find opportunities and whatnot. So like Senesi, Vandenberg, Lacroix, Tarkowski. I'm happy I've got Richard and Anderson. I have to say, they're probably going to sit around my team for a long time. I can see the difference. You're probably seeing the difference between a Trevor as an attacking threat. I'll give him that. But like Nico Williams versus some of these DEFCON people, I'm thinking the same of Van der Ven instead of Vandenberg or Senesi, right? It's like, I know who I prefer to have, even if clean sheets odds aren't quite there.
Or even like Truffet against Diakity, or if that however you pronounce that. It's quite a difference from a defensive point of view, and I got Truffet in because of his. I'll stop showing this, but I got him in because of his attacking threat, right? Because in pre-season he scored twice. He did well overseas.
You can probably do some smart odds and mathematics there, can't you? If like someone's hitting DEFCON 50% of the time, you could do the predicted points that's going to give, and how much would that equivalent to like a expected goal involvement? I'm sure it'd be like 0.3, 0.25 or 0.3, right? It's just huge. I don't know. I'm just saying off the top of my head, but it would be like wouldn't be too far off that, right? So I think, and it's a lot more random. So I think I'd rather Trifero or Senesi. I'd obviously rather Senesi, right? But yeah, it's an interesting dynamic. What else have you got on your list of learns?
So, big one, transfers. That's it. That is next on the agenda, mate. There's been some big moves today, which I think are going to impact a lot of people's teams. So we'll leave the big one for a minute. I mentioned Mark Guiu has been recalled by Chelsea. You've got rid of him already. There'll be a lot of people that are still sat with him on their bench. What's your advice? What do you do?
Well, nothing. It becomes a problem if you got 3 Chelsea anyway, which some people would, right? Some people might still have Palm. João Pedro and Sanchez, for example, right? Or various flavor. Obviously, that means that next time you make a transfer, you're going to have to move out
Sell a Chelsea man.
one of the Chelsea players. But until it's a problem, it's not a problem, right? So, yeah.
Not too bothered. Okay, well, let's talk about the big one. Alexander Isak. Don't know whether it's completely confirmed yet, but it looks as though that's pretty much done. He's gone to Liverpool, 10.4 million, 4.1 million pound cheaper than Salah. Also, but how does he impact, things with people that might have Ekitike, people that might have Gakpo, obviously people that have Salah?
I think luckily enough for those owners, Isak won't be a threat until game week 6 or 7. So the 2 nice fixtures. If anyone's got these guys for who they got next, this Burnley and Everton.
Away.
Burnley and Everton, right? So that 2 nice two prime fixtures that Liverpool had coming up. I think the people they're going to get away with it because obviously Isak hasn't played. He hasn't been training, right? He's going to need to get. Obviously, there's an international break now, but so he'll be playing for Sweden. But he's not going to start the next 2 game weeks. I'm very confident of that, given his lack of preseason and lack of training, right? So I reckon they've got away with it. The minutes of Ekitike and Gakpo won't be impacted any more than they were anyway, right? So at the moment, they're 75 minutes. It's going to stay that for the next 2. You got to think, he'd be the starting forward, and then or he could be on left, right? If they want like Ekitike and his height there, but Gakpo is just a tool in it. So it feels like if the 3 of them are going to be rotating with each other, with Isak probably starting, and then Ekitike and Gakpo kind of like rotating. But I think for a lot of people, actually, it'll come at a nice time because it's like they're free hitting game week 6, or they're moving Liverpool players out game week 6. It's a perfect opportunity then.
If you didn't have any of them, like me, who would you buy?
Salah.
Play because he's guaranteed starter regardless.
Exactly. So I don't think it really changes. It doesn't really change Salah. So I think Salah is that real wait and see. It could make him better, right? Because Isak didn't impact Murphy or Gordon or Barnes negatively, right? They scored great at times last year, right? So, and Salah has played with plenty of strikers. He's played with Nunez, right? They actually had quite a good relationship. To be fair, he's played with Firmino. Was obviously a different type of play. He's played with plenty of strikers and done well. So I don't think necessarily going to impact him negatively. You'd want to wait and see if you're a Gakpo, Ekitike and Gakpo. I wouldn't say that. You buy them for 2 weeks if you're going to wild card out, but they're not obviously. You shouldn't be buying them for medium long term, right? You need to wait and see
what happens. Absolutely. Next club, kind of next club. Newcastle are selling Isak, but they have bought in very recently 2 strikers. So Voltmade was 7 million. He's been released onto the game as. And they've also today they're getting in Wissa. He is 7.5 million. Now their fixtures look really nice from game week 8 onwards. Game week 8, game week 9 sort of side. I think they'll both play.
No. Given Newcastle set up for 4-3-3, right? Because they got those 3 monsters in midfield, Tonali, Bruno, and Joe Linton, right? And then they've got all their great wingers, right? So, no. Interesting players. I'd actually probably think Vizard would be more likely given his Prem experience. But I think obviously for those reasons, neither is a go. But what's more interesting is the ramifications for other clubs, right? So Strand Larson, we've got 2 hours left now, but he's presumably going to stay at Wolves, and those niggles that might have been linked to transfers out, he's going to be there, and presumably the main man, presumably on penalties, and a good player. Brentford as well gives a lot more certainty. Dango becomes Dango Utara becomes a better option. You think he'd be nailed in that front 3. Thiago becomes a more nailed option. Sade was always going to be an option. missed the penalty. We'll see if Thiago's on it. But yeah, it gives a bit more certainty around those players as well. So it's probably more the less Newcastle, more
The others.
yeah, and it kind
Window
of
shut,
means
by the way.
what's that?
The window shut at 7 today. They've done it earlier this season. So Strand Larsen is definitely sticking. He's sticking with the Wolves.
Well,
Maybe not for a choice.
Well, that'd been weird given he was bought post his loan only this summer. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this actually. I preferred it where it's like, deadline was done.
Yeah,
none of this like lingering kind of transfer malarkey happening. But yeah, anyway, I think Newcastle don't really change anything there. I think it does mean I don't think anyone's targeting Newcastle players, but it's again wait and see a little bit more for the attackers just to see how the hell they line up. But yeah, it gives more certainty for Strand Larsen and Thiago and Dango, who I think are interesting options in their own right.
Yeah. Another team, right? Another team that's got themselves a load of attackers. They haven't got themselves any defenders. Spurs. Obviously, Richarlison started off very well, but Solanke is still there. They've got Simons in over the last week. They've got Kolo Muani in today. So all of a sudden, they are stacked in their attack. Is Richarlison still somebody you'd consider?
I think he was not. I wasn't considering when he just had the minutes threat of Solanke, let alone Simons coming in, Kolo Muani. So yeah, I think it's again like minutes are key, right? Unless certain this person's gonna play regularly, or you can take that risk. Don't go there. So that's a red flag from a Spurs attacking point of view. I think from Kudus it's okay. I think Kudus has got bigger issues, just his like complete lack of goal threat.
Yeah,
completely. Yeah, but Kudus would probably play as a 10. But there's a lot. Well, who knows? Actually, they could play other people in the 10. But some other options.
It's a lot of options. Kudus is on the chopping block because all of a sudden they've got about 17 options for his position. So we'll see what happens. And then last but not least, mate, Villa. We've both got Watkins. I get the hint from before. You're not really in any rush to get rid of him. I know he's frustrating a lot of people. They've obviously bought in Sancho today, and it looks as though they're going to sign Harvey Elliott as well.
Yeah.
How does that impact your thoughts on Watkins?
Well, I think Villa is like another Forest type team where there's like a really bad atmosphere, bad vibe around it. I'd like to try and get rid of Watkins despite the fixtures, but it's just like is that a luxury move? Probably. Watkins is going to play, right? I think the kind of risk was Asensio come in. He's gone to Fenerbahce now, so Asensio would have been on pens because he was taking pens when he was at Villa on loan last season. So there's no change for Watkins. Villa are actually more attacking, despite losing 3-0 to Palace than previously. So there were chances. Watkins could have left that game with a goal easily. There was a few opportunities that he had. So he's fine until game week 8, given he's got Everton, Sunderland, Fulham, Burnley, Spurs game week 8 as well. So it's not a bad run. He got XGI of 0.7. He's averaging 0.42, so it's not great, but compared to a lot of players, including the likes of Salah, it's better. So I don't like Villa, but Watkins is okay.
Other fires and all that jazz. And any other business on transfers? Anybody else that you've seen come in that is going to make a major impact on other players?
So what's happening? Man City, their keepers.
Donnarumma looks like he's pretty much set. So anybody with Trafford, gonna have to sell him. Donnarumma's going to obviously be a starter. Grealish, mate. What about Grealish at Everton? He's come in, started twice, got 4 assists so far.
Yeah, looking really good. Yeah. I think actually made the players around him better as well, right? So I think obviously does it make Ndiaye a worse option? No, it's making him a better option because he's got something good creating chances, and it's making Dewsbury Hall a better option because Grealish gets fouled all the time. So you get those free kicks to whip it in. So and Grealish in his own right is looking good. So yeah, I think he's on like the extended. He's on the extended shortlist for sure when it's the right moment to bring him in potentially.
Yeah. Don't like the fixtures, which is what's keeping me away from him for the
No.
time being.
It's been an excellent start though. Excellent start, and it's like I think what's good. It's been backed by real numbers as well. It's not just been like a bit of luck or like random stuff. It's been like churning out chance after chance after chance.
Yeah. I did think that because when I was looking at him, I was like, yeah, but he's I saw one of his or two of his assists, should I say, were like unbelievable finishes from the player. One was Drewsbury Hall this week, and then one was last week. It was the defender, Patterson, was it? They absolutely smashed it in from a mile out. I was like, but Grealish's data's not going to be that good because of that. And then I looked, expected goal involvement in those two starts, 0.71 against Brighton, 0.87 against Wolves. So I was like, yeah, you know what? Fair play.
Pretty good.
He's that's pretty good.
Yeah, expect the assists always seem to lag as well. Like, I think it's a less of a exact science, but yeah, there was some good numbers. So yeah, he's on the extended shortlist for sure. Yeah, good movement. Looks like he's elevated some of the other attack. It's got to reassess. Yeah, I think that's probably there's a few teams that I've got to reassess my view of them. Like Everton being one of them. Yeah.
When the fixtures look, the fixtures are right. No, we did. Well, I'll let you decide here, Matt. We did. We've done an hour, right? So we can close it there. I did have a note which we could do on our next video as we look ahead at our game week 4 teams and what our plans are. Very, very early review of form. So I've got a table which will show you by position, expected points. Looking at it now or looking at it next time? I'll let you decide, mate.
Are we doing one run or are we gonna do 2?
Nah, it's 1.
Yeah. I didn't just do it all. We're going to review our teams, review the table all in one.
Oh no, that'll be another video next week. Yeah.
Let's bring it up. Let's bring it up.
Let's do that. Right. So, wrong button. Getting used to this new way of doing it. So, I don't know what I'm doing here, pal. There it is. Okay, so looking at starting with goalkeepers, right? If we look at the top performing goalkeepers from an expected points point of view, you've got Raya, top of the shop. Unsurprising, 2 clean sheets. They've only conceded 1 goal so far this season. Probably doesn't surprise you, I wouldn't imagine.
Well, the points surprised me. 16 is massive, eh?
Aye, yeah. It's expected, and then he's actually delivered. Oh, this one doesn't tell me what he's delivered. Tell you which one it does. This one. So he's delivered 18.
It did, mate. Go back.
Oh, did it? Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, so it's the FPL. It's the 1, 2,
Oh, there
3.
it is. There it is. Yeah. So yeah, he's not been lucky. Not been lucky at all. Fully deserved to do it.
I've been lucky, mate. I've actually had clean sheets every single game week.
No, of course. Sanchez twice.
Dubravka, Sanchez
with 1.
So,
yeah, nice.
But
does anybody jump out? Anybody jump out at you or from here? I didn't realize Pope had an assist. Missed that completely. But he's got 14.5. It's a bit of a drop in it. Reyes seems to be head and shoulders.
Well, Arsenal's defense have been kind of like awesome, right? It's just whether you want to go there versus the attacking and DEFCON threat of some of their other players. Obviously, Champions League hasn't kicked in yet, so I think Reyes intriguing option come game week 7, but I think I'd prefer to go for the likes of Calafiori or Gabriel, just like for some of the attacking threat and DEFCON opportunities. But Petrovic just is ticking on nicely, right? 13 actual points, 12 expected FPL points, so it does look like the pick of the 4.5. So I think you rightly called him out, I think, beginning of the season on that.
I did, and then didn't go with him. I had the Petrovic and Kelleher swap. But went against it.
It's always tough, though, isn't it? I think it's just inevitable that you get it the wrong way round.
But looking then when you look at defense, just a big thanks to Fix for all of this data. But looking at defenders, so again, this is by expected FPL points. But if you look here, This tells you all of the defensive data. In fact, this one's even better. Expected goals conceded, expected clean sheets, expected assists, expected goals. You see, look at that. Calafiori, 1.33 expected goals for a defender.
I really like Calafiori. And who's going to be the threat for him now?
They have just bought somebody in.
Because
somebody from Bayern, wing back from Bayern.
Zinchenko has been sold, isn't he? I think. And then Timber's obviously playing right back, competing with White. Yeah, I like Calafiori. I think I might go there. But yeah,
Zinchenko's gone to Forest on loan. But yeah, Arsenal have just signed. Again, I'm terrible. I'm like Paul Merson when it comes to names, mate. They've just signed a wing back from Bayern Leverkusen, a guy called Hinkepi, £45 million.
Yeah, I think it's that. Yeah, it was with Calafiori and Timbers. Obviously, expected FPL points. They're the two of the top three. 26 for Calafiori, 18 for Timber. Those are huge numbers. But like when you watch the matches, actually, they've been so threatening from set pieces, but also just like in particularly for Calafiori, just in general play. But it's like, hey, can you risk that rotation? Come Champions League time, I don't know. I think maybe given the way Arsenal play, right, and you want to rotate a winning team too much. Goodmanson obviously is like standing out as like he's second, right, as a 4 million option at kind of like 19. Obviously, some of that is like dictated by his attacking threat. But yeah, like I think that's kind of awesome. Like Rodon will appear somewhere eventually, like, but there's two nice options from Leeds, super cheap. But then some of this is dictated by people getting like really easy chances from set pieces. So Chelsea is standing out here. Chalobah, Cucurella, both appearing because of like corners and kind of how they've been appearing there. 18 points, 17 points over the first 3 game weeks. These are big numbers. Then you start seeing Senesi's there. Wow. Right. 17 points.
He's been doing very, very well, expected points wise. It's just, again, it isn't really too much from an attack and threat point of view because his XG's pretty low, as expected. Assist is pretty low. So again, it just drives home the importance of defensive contribution.
Well, I think Trifaz is kind of like assists are pretty high, to be fair. That right, 0.45 is not bad.
Oh, Trufford, sorry, mate. I was looking at Senesi. My bad.
Are those numbers per 90 or total?
They're total.
Oh yeah, four. So yeah, I mean, those you can't sniff at those numbers. They're okay, aren't they? For a 4.5 defender.
Yeah, I'll take it. Have a look at mids. Check out the mids. Top performing midfielders. The Menyo way ahead. Bruno Fernandes in second. Interestingly, mate, Salah nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, well, not surprised that, but yeah, expected FPL points first 3. Semenyo, one of the standouts, right? 23.43. I mean, actual jump back onto the actual just the FPL points, so we can see how many points he's got. Perfect. Mirrors it perfectly. 23 points, 23 expected points. Semenyo's been great. I think he should be on most people's watch list. There's a few angles that I'm viewing Semenyo as, whether it's a Wirtz exit or Reinders upgrade. I kind of like would like him in my team pretty soon. Bruno is almost an essential, near essential, I think, given I know people hate it, and obviously this has been biased by 2 penalties, but 20 expected FPL points, 14 actual points, and loads of routes to get in points, right?
Well, I'm just going to check out his creativity and his goal data. 1.89 expected goals, 0.61 expected assists.
Yeah, that's good. It's great, but obviously biased by penalties. And Bruno's been very good. I think a lot of people, for some reason, like Cunha, is biased by I'm missing a game, but Mbeumo's looking creative, right? As you can see, 1.19 expected assists, which is probably one of the top midfielders there for the first 3 game weeks outside of Grealish and Brooks, and Dewsbury Hall. Yeah, interesting. It shows set pieces, the importance of set pieces, but Mbeumo's quite nice. We'll see if he becomes an option. Manchester United have been all right from an attacking point of view. It's just they've been conceding goals. Who else interested? Enzo's obviously biased by the penalty. Yeah, Grealish. You mentioned that man Grealish. Obviously,
Sarr,
Paquetá. Yeah,
nice
option. Anyone stand out to you? Well, you like Semenyo. I like
Semenyo. I think they're both. I'll be very surprised if I go into game week 4 and don't have Semenyo and Sarr in my team. If I'm honest.
Yeah.
I'll be very surprised. I think I kind of want Palmer to be out a bit longer to make that decision easier for me. And then last but not least, forwards. The big point scorers. Haaland way out in front, followed by João Pedro and Ekitike. Again, probably no surprises there, mate. The expected goal data for Haaland, unbelievable, 2.91. More than double of any other player, and he hasn't took a pen yet.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. What's it look like when you add? I mean, it's normally like let's just go through the list. It's like Haaland, João Pedro, Ekitike, Wood, Thiago, Richarlison, Bowen. Now you're on to like 13 expected points, but in the first 13, Gyökeres. That's not bad given his minutes. Like he's lagging in minutes. We did take a pen. Yeah, Watkins is far too low given his price point, unfortunately. But what's if you filter by all positions?
All positions.
Let's have a look.
Calafiori top.
Yeah. I mean, you get some like pretty golden opportunities to score goals, right? That won't come all the time, but yeah, he's looking good. Yeah, I think the ones that stand out there are 3-2-3-4. Haaland, Semenyo, Fernandez. I think that's like a. I'm not going to mention João Pedro, but yeah, he's next, as is, and then Goodmanson. But yeah, I think those guys just feel very good foundation players for any good FPL team right now.
Here's a question for you. You've got Salah, right? And what's that? There's is that 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't work it out. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 per page, right? Salah.
You're going to have to keep clicking.
Honestly, the guy isn't in the top 36. There he is. So what's that? 37, 38, 39, 40. He's in 41st position.
Between O'Reilly and Gooey.
Yeah,
okay,
and Diouf. And there's one for you. If I just do it by Liverpool players to compare him to the rest, you know what? That surprises me that he's in third. But he's behind Gakpo and Ekitike. Just behind Gakpo, in all fairness, right? I think you've still got no plans to sell.
No. Well, I've got to see what the next 2 games are. If he looks anonymous against Burnley and Everton, then I can consider that. Do I just want to free transfer him out rather than free hitting, right?
Yeah.
And probably then you get a bit of view of like impact of Isak maybe by the Everton game. Yeah, obviously super early, right? This is 3 weeks, so it's kind of difficult to say stuff and all. Obviously they're going to change a little bit with Isak presumably taking the centre forward position. So like no one will be selling Salah, the best FPL asset ever, ahead of Burnley and Everton, right? So you kind of give it those 2 games, right? And he has a decent runway to serious captaincy option as well. He has another pen, right, as well. We can see how that changes. Bruno Fernandes has had 2 penalties. And the thing with attacking teams with good pacey players, they concede penalties. Well, they gain penalties, right? So Salah will probably get 7-8 Salah kind of penalties soon. So he's due one soon, right? So that changes things radically. I think a lot of those players that were quite highly rated were on pens. What's more concerning is Wirtz. Wow, he started at 8.5. He's now an 8.4 midfielder. In 3 game weeks, expected FPL points at 9.33. His expected goals his expected goal involvement is barely above 0.5 with 3 weeks. Now that is he's below Konate. He's just above Kyrgyz.
Sorry, mate. Clicked at the wrong time.
He's poor. And then if you just go back to mids, mate, if you just filter it by total mids rather than Liverpool.
Total, yeah, all teams.
Yeah, all teams just do it by just midfielders. And then let's do a max price as well. Like, given he's like quite expensive, he's 8.5. Let's bring it down to 7, like as max price.
Enzo, Brooks, Anthony. The Burnley, honestly, those Burnley midfielders.
No, we'll see. That's a trend actually. Like, we thought they were going to be a really solid defense, but yeah, they're looking quite interesting actually. But yeah, Enzo Fernandez rather him. Grealish, I'd 100% prefer to Grealish. Sarr, got him in. 100% prefer him. Paquetá would prefer him. He's on penalties. Who else we got if you keep going? Dewsbury Hall. I prefer Ndiaye, who I presume will be on penalties for Everton. Who's next? They've all got like 50%, 60% more points. I'd consider Anderson. I'd consider Matoma. Dango, 100%. Look at Dango. Like, he's a dark horse here. Look, he's got 11.76 expected points, but only in 174 minutes.
Yeah, true that.
That's big, given that he'll start. Gruder has got more for Brighton in 41 minutes. 11 versus. He's like, I prefer maybe Moustache. He's on penalties for Leeds, like, and set pieces. I'd even rather him. Like, keep going.
you're not a fan of Hertz.
Shard. I prefer Shard, right? I prefer Neto. Then it gets a bit weird. But...
yeah, maybe not Kudus. No. Rice, because of the corners.
That's not. Well, the numbers are a bit concerning, but Rice is an option for game week 7 for me for Verts. Yeah. I think that point made right there. There's so many. Yeah. He's doing so bad, but there's those 2 nice fixtures. So let's see if he's
what he does in it.
Deep blocks and everything. Oh, can he unlock them? I haven't seen anything to suggest he can, but
no. And there's I've not seen anything either, pal. And it's we're top of the league with 9 points. We've just bought Isaac. I shouldn't complain too much, but I would like to see a bit more from him. I agree. In the real world, as opposed to FPL. But yeah, mate. Well. We were done it. We were like, it might be a quick one. This has probably been our longest in a while. But I appreciate your time. But we will catch up ahead of game week 4 because we'll chat through our plans, what we're looking to do, why we're looking to do it, and do the classic team reveals as well. But appreciate your time. I've enjoyed that. I've enjoyed having a little reflection.
Thank you. Thank you for driving the clicking.
No problem.
No problem. In the pressure seat there, isn't it? Where it's like, oh no, click that button. Click that button.
I am the Debbie McGee to your Paul Daniels. No problem whatsoever. Appreciate that. That's an old reference for anybody that isn't quite our age. But I appreciate your time, Matt. And yeah, I'll catch up with you in the week.
No, likewise, mate. Good session. Thank you.
And for you, thank you for listening. Hopefully you've had time to reflect on your team, how you're performing. Hope you're doing very well so far this game week. But join us for the next episode in which we will review game week 4, looking at the best captaincy options, our own team reveals, and also plans for the future transfer. But if you haven't learned something, please do give us a like and subscribe. We are closing ever closer in on that 1,000 subscribers. Only 39 to go. Please be one of them. It's free and it does help us out and we'd appreciate it. But whatever you do between now and the next, I wish you all the best.